There we go, that's the paint in progress. As you see, it's gone from a battleship grey to a white undercoat colour. So they'll be doing a top coat in the next couple of days, and the deck has been well and truly covered in spots. That's because that's where they've just cleaned away the rust, where the bits of chips have taken the toll on the deck and gone down to bare metal, and it's gone rusty. So they've cleaned up the rust, rust-proofed it, and now the undercoat has gone on, the primer. Anyway, let's turn you back round. Well, with this little camera, I actually managed to zoom in by ×2, and you still can't see anything, I don't expect. So anyway, so I'm not quite sure where we're going actually. I think over there in the distance is the Isle of Man. My map's not connected via a phone network, so it's using the ship's Wi-Fi, and I'm not getting a very good direction. So I could go up to the bridge and have a look, I suppose. But anyway, let's see about turning you around. Oh, I had to come out of ×2 mode then. I was well engrossed. Well, I've set the gain on this now to, this is 0 dB gain on this, so just as really a check for me. So when I come to play it back, I'll see what the volume sounds like, because at the moment I can see orange on my little screen above there that I'm looking at. The screen that I'm looking at shows me the speaker, the volume of the microphones, and it looks like it's clipping a little bit. So I'll reduce the gain down to 0 dB and we'll see what happens. Yeah, so let's turn you back round. Hang on, I'll turn round, see if the camera followed me. There we go. There's all the windmills in the background. So it's Saturday a vlog that I try and do one every Saturday, but obviously being away at sea, it's sometimes it's quite impossible, really. Oh, sorry. Let me just adjust that. Yeah, how's that? I've got a polarizing lens on this camera as well, and I knocked it as I was carrying it out here. Anyway, so what's the news on a Saturday afternoon? Well, we're still at sea. We won't be going back into Swansea until about Tuesday. It may even be Monday, and then we go home Tuesday. So I think that's what's going to happen. I'm not just waiting for information. The office staff are on holiday at the moment. They've got a couple of days off. One of them's taking their children to university. Anyway, so we'll find out what's actually happening about going home next Monday or next Tuesday. And after that, I got a whole 2 weeks off. So yeah, we'll definitely have to go out and do something. Yeah, I suppose I should warn you really. My little dog, Boston, the Boston Terrier, he's not very well. Sarah took him into the vet a few days back because he was coughing. And the vet said that he's got something going on in his tummy, and she wanted to do scans and blood tests and whatever. So I've been digging out the insurance details, and my wife says there's no rush at the moment to get him treated, so we can wait until I get home and then we'll decide what to do with him. Yeah, we got up £4,000 worth of cover for medication, but we'll have to pay an excess of 20% on top of that, plus £125. So if it costs £4,000, it's going to cost me about £800 in total. So we will find a way. We will find a way. But yeah, so just as a warning, just to prepare yourselves if it is the worst. I know I'm not too worried, because about 4 weeks ago, I took him into the vet for his checkup, where he was given his booster shots for the parvovirus and other things, and he was perfectly fine then. So 4 weeks later, they say he's found a lump in his tummy. But having said that, he does have a rather solid tummy, which then miraculously cures itself in the back garden, as they do. It's something to worry about. Of course, I worry no matter what, but I don't think it's too much to worry about just yet. Sarah, she's beside herself in tears. So that's it then. We're going to have to tighten our belts and save up some money just in case we have to. But I'm pretty certain that they'll have a payment scheme where we can chip in some money every month to try and reduce the costs down. But yeah, he's insured. Like I say, he's for stuff like this. It's moments like this that you think that maybe you should have taken out the gold cover and not the silver cover. But anyway, so not to worry you too much. We'll let you know what's happening when I get home, and he's had a revisit to the vet. Hopefully it's just a bit of wind or whatever that's caused him to do this as well. So yeah, it's not good. Yeah, I say not good. It's not good for me to find out. Back in the good old days, being at sea, you didn't get communications like you have today. You don't get the ship's Wi-Fi where you can get hold of emails or instant messenger kind of stuff. It's no good for phone calls out here because you the internet's not that strong, but it's good enough for text messages via the internet and Facebook Messenger communications. And of course, my daughter wants me to phone her as well. She lives in France, and the phone signal's just not strong enough. So I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, in the bad old days, you didn't hear about these things until it was after. You know, one of your family members would break a leg, and you didn't find out until it was fixed that they'd broken a leg. But yeah, I do remember my dear old dad when he had his triple heart bypass. That was a worrying time, and that was when we had the emails sent to the ship, and it was given. The captain would print them off and hand them out to us as a written or a printed piece of paper with the message on. But yeah, there's things have improved, haven't they, in the way of communications now. Everybody knows everybody's business the minute it happens. I know my stepdaughter, when we went on holiday years ago, she would sit with her friend, because we took her friend with her on holiday, and they would sit in the restaurant that we were at, both of them on their phones, not talking to each other, but they were talking to their friends back at home and sending them photographs. So when they got home, they had nothing to talk about because they'd already talked about it during the holiday. So rather than enjoying each other's company, they just sat there looking at their own mobile phones whilst waiting for our meal to be delivered. Yeah, that was a good few years ago now, that. But yeah, so that's the joys of being at sea, is hearing about these things and not being able to do anything. But like I said, I managed to get hold of the insurance company, get some details sent to Sarah. So yeah, it's looking positive in that respect. So that's my news anyway of this week. So like I said, we're off. The Isle of Man, I think, is behind me, and we are. I can't even see where the sun is at the moment. I know the windmills I've got a photograph. I'll take a photograph in at the end that I've taken with the windmills, and funnily enough, it kind of proves the curvature of the Earth, because the windmills are all the same height, but as you look at them, the ones in the far distance, the actual blades are just skimming the surface of the sea, while the blades on the windmills that are really close to us are quite high out of the water. So it must be the curvature of the Earth which is causing the windmills to look a bit shorter than they are here. But as you know, seafarers do understand that the Earth is round, especially when you think of a flat Earth, as the outer edge is actually what they call the South Pole. Now, I've been around the South Pole, and it doesn't take as long as you would think if it was a flat Earth and you went around what they call a small circle route around the South Pole to get from Australia back to the Cape of Good Hope, and at the bottom of Argentina, I think it is. Anyway, you go from there back up to the UK. But yeah, that was a funny old trip, that one. Well, we actually left Southampton, went down to Cape Town for a mail call. Went from there, from Cape Town, we would go then across to Australia and New Zealand, and then finish off going around the bottom of Argentina, heading back up north again. So that lesser circle route was a lot shorter than it would be if you navigated around on a flat Earth. And of course it would be impossible to have a flat Earth, because all the water would be pulled towards the centre, and it would be miles deep. Oh, stepped in some wet paint. No, it's tacky, not wet. So that's a bit of a downer. Anyway, so that's about it then, really, for a Saturday. We're off the Isle of Man, and we've got just over a week to go before we head back home. And oh yes, and we caught I can't remember what she called it now, a barbed ray. Anyway, so I'll put a photograph of that in it, as well as the windmills at the end of this little video. So I'm going to try and cobble something together, try and get it a bit smaller than my normal. If not, I'll stop the mid video ads, because I found out how to do that now. Anyway, so that's about it for a Saturday, and we'll see you all on the next one. Okay, bye then.